I like green apples. Do you like apples? They are so yummy. Yummy apple.
I'm not sure that this is right, but it really means a lot to me what other people think. It's not the most important thing in the world, but I really need to feel someone's support. And I got a lot of support here in this community. And I appreciate it so much. This time, even my husband said that I sound differently, more naturally, more confident, and this is my husband, you know? You can't even tell a worm from worm. These two words sound absolutely identical to him. So thank you for this as well, because he always said that learning phonetics, living in Europeans, is completely and utterly pointless, and that is simply the waste of time and money. But now, I think that he respects me even.
You discover the whole world by means of such a powerful instrument as English language. And as a teacher, I always do my best to make my students interested in it too.
We arrived at the airport and there was sort of this battlefield with mad passengers who wanted to check in and leave, and these hopeless check-in officers who couldn't do anything due to some technical issues. And so my sister was apparently pushing after bypass the queue, and suddenly it turned out to be the first there. And I thought the plane was going to wait for us, as it wasn't our fault. But the check-in officer went, "Run! Run as fast as you can!" And we sped off with our suitcases.
My name is Tanya. Surprise, surprise. I'm from Belarus. I live here. I live in Minsk together with my family. We have 2 sons with my husband, and I graduated from Linguistic University in 2015. So I'm a qualified English teacher and linguist. What else? Phonetics has always been my favorite subject. When I suddenly see this picture of my dad grabbing the candle and starting chewing it with the poker face. And I looked at my husband and I went crying with laughter, unable to utter a single word. And it sort of became this family moment I will definitely remember for the rest of my life. And when I was ordering a new cake for his 55th birthday, I asked to make a sign that candles are non-edible.
My name is Yulia and I'm 23 years old. I'm in my 3rd year at Moscow Pedagogical State University and I'm going to be an English teacher. But I've already been working as a private English tutor for 2 years, and I prefer to work with adults. It's kind of filling in this form in a child's journal. It was my friend's journal. I had to describe my perfect day, and back then I remember writing, "It's just a day spent at home with my TV set on, with the cartoons on, with my younger brother, and our games we used to play together." Well, again, I was distracted. Well,
I prefer active traveling filled with the museums, theaters, galleries and different sites. So yes, I like museums, especially the audio guides. Invited to the birthday parties more than 10 times. Pizzas, nuggets, french fries, a trampoline or a bouncy castle, all the guilty pleasures for kids, but no longer than for 2 hours, and lots of small talks among the parents, during which I thought how caring and supportive these people are.
My name is Lena. I'm an English teacher. I've been teaching for many years, for about 20 years or something like that. I've been working with all age groups, and I love my job very much. I love my students, and when the classes begin, I forget about everything. Even if I had a headache, it goes away very quickly as soon as the class begins.
20 was significantly less practical, less beautiful. I decided to change everything about it. So and I was planting the grass, I was like, why does everyone make such a big fuss about road lawns? It's not a big deal, blah, blah, blah. Until I learned how much I needed to take care of it. And I was like, oh my God, I felt so stressed and lazy. And I realized it's because there suddenly this bloody amount of dandelions around if you don't mow, if you don't fertilize, if you don't water, and if you don't air, and if you don't do it weekly, there'll be weeds everywhere.
It's not about what you have and not about some things or money or possessions that you have, but it's all about your inner feeling of self-fulfillment, that you have made everything that you are capable of, like at this point of your life. Well, it would be a torture if I had to opt for just one. I'd feel so empty and idle. For you, it might be different. You might find it a hard goal to juggle 2 careers. And so you may do as you like. But I do really enjoy both of them, you know?
Hello, I'm ready to film the first video. Surf in the ocean. Go skydiving. Send a message in a bottle. Carve name into a tree. Go scuba diving. Get a pedicure. Go on a girls only trip. Family photo session. Because my British pronunciation in 2022 was significantly worse than in now in 2023, and I'm like, oh my God, it sounds unrealistic, but it is what it is. But I must say, many things that actually really did help me with my British accent. They are fabulous Ola and her team, all the participants in the atmosphere in the chat. And the journey was so quickly and so fantastic. And when it comes to the end, it's torture.
I have a degree in linguistics, but the thing is that my first language at university was French, so I didn't have any courses on English phonetics. And now when I'm almost 45, I decided it's time I got to grips with British pronunciation. Well, as they say, better late than never. I actually had a chat with my colleague the other day, and she was like, why do you make such a big fuss about British pronunciation? I mean, sure, it's a distinctive accent with a rich history and cultural significance, but you really need to go out of your way to sound like you just stepped out of Downton Abbey or The Crown? And I was like, no, absolutely not. It's because I love phonetics. There's a pleasure, isn't there, in learning about the sounds of the language and their funny little quirks. I'm not saying that the study of grammar vocabulary isn't important. It is. It's just because I like the nitty-gritty, dirty detail of pronunciation.
I'm a lawyer. My specialization is civil law, and I also have postgraduate diplomas in legal translation and as an English teacher. As for my work experience, it has been mostly connected to my first education. I worked in the arbitration court as an assistant of a judge. This is my final video task at the Mastering British Accent course. 10 weeks, sleepless nights, and lots of fun. I think at first I was in panic. For you, it might be different, but for me, the whole course was a major challenge. Sometimes I was limited in my free time, so I was trying to use any opportunity to practice. Unfortunately, I couldn't participate in any chat activities, but I was really inspired by talented people there. And I'd like to say thank you to the whole team, to the author of the course, thank you Olga, and of course to my amazing mentor, thank you Olga for your feedback.
But I enjoy the process, and my agenda for this course is to learn and to enjoy this, what it is, like 8 weeks of work. I want it to be fun for both of us, and well, I hope it will be an interesting journey. Are you sure? And she went, yes, absolutely, it's gonna be great. Well, I wouldn't particularly use the word great for describing the following days, but I'd rather not swear as well, so let's keep it unlabeled. When you spend 2 sleepless nights finalizing results, when you compile your slides on the backseat of the car, when you have no time for practice, and a part of these, so many things go random, it's just an incredible amount of anxiety, you know? But one thing that actually really did help me to get distracted from upcoming accumulation was thinking, given the new circumstances, I will probably die way before it's my time to present.
I've been working on my British accent during 2 years, kinda, and I hope that my accent now shows marked improvement, but sure as hell there is still room for improvement. That's why I'm here. And I think in an entertainment industry, we all have responsibility to make sure that we're being absolutely authentically true to who we are. That we're not changing our faces, that we're not altering our bodies and achieving some strange idea of perfection.
My father was my first teacher. He's a doctor, so he didn't know anything about English really, and he loves joking even now that he has Yorkshire accent. I think he does a little bit, I would put it this way. Have you dreamt of being a teacher? Well, you know, someone told me that before I'd been one. I probably told them to shut up. Politely. For you, it might be different. Your life choices could be crystal clear for years to come. God bless you then. But back in 2014, it sort of became a competition between the hectic working schedule as banking auditor and my ardent wish to become a mum. Remember, Emma Watson, if you don't have a baby and you turn 30...
I love Lucy Worsley. She's a British historian and a BBC presenter. She sounds great, and it's her accent, her manner of speech I would love to copy. So clear to understand, educated, and it feels like that must have been a dream. And then I had my daughter, and my life changed so quickly and so irreversibly. But I saw it as a chance to work on my English. And since then, the scale of English in my life has become significantly higher than it was when I had no kids.
Hello, I'm Julia, and I'm an interior designer. Me and my husband own an interior design studio based here in Moscow.
So basically, all my professional life, I've been doing the job that I was trained to do. But it really gives me a kick.
To learn to deal with my problems. I was so pissed off. I was baffled. And one thing that actually really did help me to gain control over my emotions was basically, I simply got...
I'm just inspired by such lessons because I really feel the results both for my students and for me personally.
Hello, my name's Alice and I'm an English teacher. I'm really passionate both about teaching and learning the English language.
But as I know that Olga's courses are always just brilliant, I'm sure that this course will help me a lot.
Cut to the end of the course and I'm like, oh my god, I really understand how it works. And I realize it's because this course is so structured and brilliant.
Actually, I've been studying English since I was born. Originally, it was my mom's idea because she's always been into languages, and pretty soon I realized that it wasn't actually doing anything for me and it wasn't my thing at all. More than that, my boss there was really rude and nasty, and the job was so tedious. I worked as a personal assistant of a director of a company which sold some high-tech equipment. A year after my private practice began, and I'm still working as a tutor, and I'm really enjoying my job this time.
Currently, I'm studying at university to become a teacher. I'm majoring in English and German.
Because
My personal spending for 2020 was significantly lower than it was in 2019. So when I'm planning for 2021, I'm actually taking my 2019 numbers because that is more realistic to a non-pandemic life of mine.
I'm always looking for ways to improve my English, and I think this course is perfect for it.
And so, whichever one is higher, your 2019 spending or your 2020 spending, take that one.
Now I'm moving to coaching because I feel the need to share all my experience gained as a PR practitioner, and I want to help my students interact smoothly with foreign counterparties, to help them conduct efficient business meetings, conference calls, feel comfortable in business trips. This is one of my passions, to see other people grow and to understand that you are somehow part of it. I actually wanted to join this course last year, but I couldn't because something messed up with my plans. When I signed up for it this year, I was pretty sure I'd be able to make it. Just another course, it's not a big deal. Cut to first week of classes, and I'm like, oh my god, I feel so overwhelmed. There's suddenly this incredible influx of new terms and concepts. Before, I was like, why does everyone make such a big fuss about this shadowing thing? I'll just read it a couple of times. No way. Make it 40. You know? I was just amazed by this fake it till you make it principle. I genuinely don't know how this one works, but the more you do it, the more you like it. And you start mimicking the gestures, the tones, subtle.
My plan was to work at school, but I tried to and realized that it's not my cup of tea at all. So last year I started working at the university, and I was offered to teach phonetics there. I was really happy about it because when I was in my first year at the uni, I fell in love with the British English, with phonetics, so I decided why not. And last year I taught phonetics. I actually have some troubles with adult life chores because days only have 24 hours and it's such a shame to waste it on housework. I used to be like, why does everyone make such a big fuss about doing laundry, washing up's not a big deal, blah blah blah. Cut to adult life and I'm like, oh my god, I feel so stressed and tired. The thing is that I'm currently working at the uni, having a part-time job, working on my thesis, and I don't want to waste hours on hoovering or cooking something. After work, I want to have some fun, like a 9-year-old girl with family and friends. For you, it might be different. You might be a person who enjoys cooking or tidying up like Monica Geller from Friends. And I literally can't understand how you can do it. And I'm even a bit jealous of it. Because when I'm asked if I feel like...
And as long as I am a strong advocate of the idea that learning is an ongoing process and should be made your lifelong priority, I believe that it's never too late to learn, and that's what I am doing actually, and have been doing all my life.
Mastering British accent course. I really wonder what that one's for. Are you kidding me? You need it because your pronunciation will become significantly better than it is now. Of course, you may go like, why does everyone make such a big fuss about studying modern RP? This is not a big deal, blah, blah, blah. But I'll tell you this. If you haven't heard of assimilation, if you haven't practiced glottal stop or elision, or if you don't know how to make adjective sounds or how to do shadowing properly, you're bound to find yourself in the wonderland. And though you'll definitely have to step out of your comfort zone and push yourself to the limits, burning the midnight oil, take my word for it. It's worth it, because it's magic, this course. And for you, it won't be any different.
My feedback on this course, which I genuinely won't have enough words to describe. Already in August, before the beginning, I felt I was really excited, and I definitely couldn't believe I'd become a part of it, and I spent the next weeks under such professional guidance. And so, cut to October, the end of the course, and I'm like, oh my god, how has it passed in the blink of an eye? And now I realize it's because there are constantly these breathtaking pieces foreshadowing and this capturing videos with instructions, you know? And I must say, the things that actually really did help me not to give up in the process, to continue trying my best, was obviously love for phonetics of the course team, the chat supports, professional pieces of advice. So if you want to sound more authentic,
we actually went scuba diving. So we did scuba diving one day, and then the next day we went snorkeling. And it sort of became this competition between the crazy guy who took us snorkeling and our dive instructor as to who could give us the best experience. And so the guy who took us snorkeling was definitely smoking something legal, and he was having the time of his life. And so we went out on the boat, and then I thought we were just going to be snorkeling with tropical fish, and he went, "Watch this," and he starts chumming the water with food and blood, and he goes, "Jump in." And I looked at John and I said, "No, like absolutely not."
Because I don't understand it. I didn't understand it completely, and I speak using my intuition, just like I feel. But I really want to sound more like a native speaker, and I think we can do that.
Always trying to remember appropriate words, phrases that won't be so simple, and it takes my time to find something okayish. So I decided, when I finish this course, I'll shift the paradigm.
Oh, well, hello there. What are you doing here? Oh, well, I just thought to come and visit for this lovely autumn weekend, and maybe stay for a little bit longer, who knows? For how long? Well, that depends. On what? On whether you intend to dedicate your mind, body, soul, and all your free time to ensuring you're learning the notes of the F clef and the G clef for all the octaves, and practicing the scales every waking minute of your leisure time, even if it means sacrificing your own mental health. Yeah, no, I won't be doing that. Oh, well, in that case, looks like I'm gonna be sticking around. Yay! What are you doing anyway? Scrolling your Instagram feed, I guess. Well, no time for that. I'm working. I have 7 classes today, and I've also got my phonetics course on, so I have some tasks to accomplish.
Their bodies are perfect, their diaries are perfect. Besides, they're the one couple we know that'll definitely have already been to Newt House. They probably know the owner. To them, it's already over.
I'm just having like a general office day. There's a lot of things to do. We've got 2 new people starting this month and next month, so we're kind of preparing for that. I had a really big meeting yesterday where we went through